So yesterday, I got Friends in the mail. So I now have 3 of my top 5 favorite TV series on DVD. The only ones I don't have are Gilmore Girls, which is my number 1, and Sex and the City, both of which are still available on Netflix, and that's the one streaming service that I have left. So, and I think I will probably be keeping that one for a while yet because my youngest son still uses it quite a bit. My oldest son, I think, pretty much just watches YouTube these days. But so until Logan is grown and kind of out on his own and, has his own stuff, I will probably keep Netflix. And at that point, I may cancel it too. Honestly, I mean, we all know what they have done with their streaming service over the last year. So prices have gone up. You can't do sharing anymore. So I don't know how disgruntled other people may be about it, but I'm just kind of tired of it because I believe it was 3.5 months of paying for Hulu bought this DVD set. So essentially, by canceling Hulu and buying the DVD set of, well, one of the two shows that I had Hulu to watch, paid for it. So it's paid for itself and then some since I canceled Hulu, because I canceled it probably a year ago at this point. I initially bought Buffy the Vampire Slayer was the first set that I bought, and now I have One Tree Hill. Right, Rosie? So roughly 6 to 7 months of not paying for Hulu has bought these DVD sets that I will have forever. And I don't have to pay a subscription service every month to watch them anymore. And Friends, I think this one, I will look up the price for sure because I've seen them range anywhere from like 35 to 50. And I feel like this one, I don't know. I'll put the price on the screen here because I don't remember exactly how much it was, but it was definitely very affordable. So there's 10 seasons, but they're also short episodes because this was a 30-minute series and not a 1 hour long one. So it was a little bit more affordable. Like One Tree Hill has 9 seasons, but they also had very long, like each season was something like 24 episodes long. So it was longer, plus their hour-long episodes. So One Tree Hill is a little bit pricier, and Gilmore Girls is going to be the same way. And I think a lot of that is driven by demand because it's one of the most popular shows in existence now, since it's been on Netflix. But there's 7 seasons, hour-long episodes, about 22 episodes per season. But that DVD set ranges, I found it anywhere from like $80 to $120. But I did find one that is that, plus it has the Year in the Life movie series, which honestly, I'm not a fan of the movies really, but if I'm going to get the Gilmore Girls set, I'm going to get that too. But as long as it's on Netflix and I still have Netflix, I'm not worried about that one. But I have all of the others that I love. So one of the few things that I've done over the last year to save money, if you've been here for a little while, of course, you know that I'm kind of on a spending freeze for just basically clothing and home decor. So I will be doing a decorate with me for fall here. I don't know for sure when. I'm kind of waiting on the weather. My goal is kind of like September 20th-ish, so to wait right around the time that fall actually begins. But if we do see our weather drop and feel fall-like before then I will do it before then. But you'll get to see how I decorate with stuff that I already have without buying a single new thing. So stick around for that. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling because it's just about time to go to work. So I'm going to go and change my clothes, make my bed, and get ready for my day. so I am ready to do my meal plan with you for next week. I thought about doing a soup, and I kind of changed my mind because I did find a recipe for a pasta that I kind of like the sounds of. But next week we are going to have fall temperatures again, thankfully. It's not quite going to stay that way, but it looks like, at least for the current 10-day forecast, we are done with the 90s. This coming up week, it's going to drop back down to low 80s and even into the 70s, and then kind of climb back up into the mid 80s. So we are definitely going to get a lot better weather than we've had this week. It hit 102 degrees yesterday, which was the hottest day of the summer. We've had a lot of high heat index days, but the temperatures have been usually around like 93 to 95 degrees during those times. So we've had a little bit lower humidity, but the heat has been higher. And then we weren't originally supposed to even break 100 for the heat index, but we did hit 105 yesterday with the heat index. So it's been plenty hot this week. But I think this is kind of summer's way of petering itself out with one last heat wave. So anyway, next week we're going to get to start some autumnal stuff, and I'm very excited because next week, of course, is going to be September, so it is kind of the start of the season, even though technically fall doesn't start until the 21st or 22nd of the month. But anyway, so for next week, I decided to do, it is a baked vegan Tuscan orzo, technically is what the recipe calls for, and I did add orzo onto my shopping list, but for me personally, I'm going to make some pasta homemade, and I'll probably just do like some spaghetti noodles or something that I can run through my pasta wheel, and then kind of cut into a little bit shorter pieces. But anyhow, I also decided I wanted to do a babaganoush next week because it just sounded good, and I haven't made homemade crackers in a few weeks, so I want to do that too. So I have both of those things on here. I have the ingredients for both of those things on here. I will link both of those recipes down below. And we're going to hope, fingers crossed, that I am in the mood for doing this next week, because I had good intentions of making homemade pasta for Logan this week, and I ended up just using some whole wheat boxed penne that I already had in the cabinet, because this week I just haven't been feeling it, and that is why I am taking this coming up weekend off from filming and editing and doing all of that. I just need a little bit of downtime, and I really don't know what the problem is. It's one of two things, and I haven't figured out which, and I think it's going to be some time before I can figure out which it is. But when we were in Gulf Shores, of course, I was eating some seafood. They're just, vegan-friendly options just didn't really exist down there too much, other than just eating a salad. So I tried to be as healthy as possible, and I would only eat like half servings of stuff, but, I still had seafood while I was down there, and then I came home to stress. So you're eating animal products, which have hormones in them, combined with stress, which messes up your hormones. And so since then, over the last couple of weeks, my face has been breaking out. I've had a migraine this past week. I have not slept as well. I've had some early waking a few nights, but I've also had, if you're a man, sorry, this might be TMI for you, but I started my period 5 days earlier than normal. And I've had, I wouldn't call them hot flashes, but definitely some moments where I felt unnaturally warm for me, someone who is always cold. So I'm 39 years old. I just turned 39 this summer. So I'm not quite into my 40s yet, but it could potentially also be perimenopause symptoms, because I did start having periods at 11 years old. So I was definitely very young. And so that puts me kind of in the category for early menopause. So I might, get into that phase of my life a few years younger than the average person. So it's one of the two, and I don't know which one it is yet. I did probably 5 or 6 months ago have a very similar experience to this. So at this point, I'm not sure if it is kind of a diet and stress related thing, or if it might actually be some hormonal changes because of my age. But at any rate, one of the other kind of symptoms, if you will, that I've experienced this week is that I wouldn't call it depression, but I've definitely had kind of that more down mood where I just don't feel like doing anything, and I have a hard time mustering up the energy to do the things I need to do. So I've kind of been letting things go for a couple of days, letting myself have some downtime. I have laid on the couch and worked from my laptop rather than fully engaging on my full 3-screen setup for work. It's just, I'm trying to take the time that I feel like my body is telling me that I need, and that is why I'm taking this weekend off. But I'm already feeling better today than I did yesterday and Monday. And part of it too is because over the weekend we were just busy. We had birthday stuff for different people all weekend long. And so come Monday, I didn't feel like I'd even had a weekend. My oldest son, Hunter, even commented on it because he saw me Monday and he's like, I feel like I didn't even see you this weekend. I was like, oh, believe me, I know. It's because I wasn't home. So, but anyhow, this is the plan for next week. I'm definitely feeling better today, and I've noticed my skin is starting to improve a little bit. There's still like some lingering breakouts, but I'm not experiencing new ones. It's not feeling oily. It's starting to dry up. So I think my hormones are finally starting to come back down now and level out. I've definitely been taking very strict care of my diet to help with that. So here's to hoping that next week I will be fully back on top of things and ready to dive back in just like always. So anyhow, I'm going to stop rambling now. I need to get back to work, and I don't know yet if I will wrap up the vlog here. I may throw in a few more clips throughout the day, but I will talk to you again in the next vlog.